English as a simple language. Let them speak. Review hours 1 to 38. Please repeat or answer. Don't you wonder if she is the only one that made all of what you see there? Have you got any idea how long she spent making all of those? Is the fact that it feels a little cold outside help to keep all of that fresher? Did she say that they would taste the best as soon as you first finished steaming them? Do you wish that you could taste one of them to see what they taste like? Have you figured out whether she has put anything in the rice that you can't see? She must be able to sell a lot of those since there are so many there that she's already made. Did you ask her how long they will be stored there before selling them? Isn't it a good thing that it hasn't been raining outside so she can carry those around easily? Have you ever had the chance to eat what she's made there? Did she tell you that it is something that her mother has been making ever since she was young? Does what she ordered ever look delicious? Is that all she ended up ordering for supper at where she went to eat? Isn't it too bad that she didn't invite you to come and have supper with her? Was she aware of you wanting to take her picture before she took her first bite of the food she ordered? Will she let you take as many pictures as you would like to take while she's eating? Are you thinking of getting whatever she wound up ordering there? Wouldn't you have cut up that meatball instead of trying to eat it all at once? Was she like she is so hungry she doesn't care if it seems like a lot or not? Would you have ordered wine like she did to have with that meal if you got to eat there? Wouldn't it have been worth ordering a salad to have to eat with all of that? What would you have ordered had she asked you to have dinner with her? There is no point eating a lot of bread with that, since the spaghetti and meatballs would be filling enough. Do you plan on ordering dessert for her so that she can talk with you after she's done having that? Will a lot of fish be caught using a net as big as you see them using? Doesn't it look like a flower in the sea? How many people would it have taken to be able to put out a net as big as you see there? Had there been a lot of big waves, would they have been able to have put that out like that? Can you figure out what part of the net has gone down the deepest? They must be looking forward to seeing whatever they've caught. How long will they have to spend trying to pull in that whole net they put out there? Would fish be able to jump out of that net if they wanted to? All they're in the middle of doing now is pulling in the net to see what they've caught. Can you tell how many men are working on the boat now, pulling up the net? Shouldn't they have had some other boat there that could help them to pull it all in? Is that somewhere you would have had fun working if you had been younger? What in the world is she doing? Would you be surprised to find out that they're both making noodles together? Does it appear that she's pulling it out of the large pot where you see the steam coming out of? Do you think that she is aware of all of the people around her watching what she's doing? Does the girl standing on the right seem to feel really amazed as soon as she sees her doing that? Have you figured out how it is that they'll be catching it all before it falls on the ground? How would the people seeing this have reacted as soon as they first saw her jumping up in the air like that? I bet that they sell a lot of the noodles that are made there. Would you be interested in buying the noodles she's pulling out of the pot? Don't you have a hard time believing that this is what they can manage to do? Wouldn't the noodles have had to be really thick in order to do what she's doing? The next time you go to a Chinese restaurant, do you wish that you could see them making your noodles like this? No matter how much they cost, I would be sure to ask them whether they have this kind of noodle. Are they ever having a wild party? Do you wish that you could have been with them there having a good time? Although they're all finished eating, are they continuing to drink something strong? Have you figured out what it is that started the fire on the tablecloth that's on the table? It must have started by accident while they were fooling around. Will they try to put it out by pouring whatever they have been drinking on it? I suspect that it was started by knocking over one of the candles they were using. Don't they seem to care if they are making a mess of everything? Which one of them seems to have passed out after having drunk too much liquor? Can you see anything dangerous that they're doing that you would never do? How long would it have taken them to eat all of that food they prepared sitting on the table? Do you have any idea what it was that they were celebrating to have such a big feast? What would you have eaten that you see on the table? Will they have a hard time remembering what they've done by the time they wake up tomorrow? Which one of them wound up lighting their cigar after having eaten as much as they could? Have you ever had a meal where the whole cooked animal was placed on the table? Is she carrying that to someone that's having a birthday at this party? It must be at the end of the party since the birthday cake is beginning to be served. Is she aware of all of the people sitting there staring at her while she walks through them with the dessert that was made? Are most of the people sitting there much older than you? Do you know that many people that you could have invited to your last birthday party? Are you thinking about inviting whoever you know to the next birthday party you have? Does everyone appear to be having fun being at that party? Did you notice if anyone brought gifts for the one celebrating their birthday there? If you had a birthday party, would you have asked people to dress up that well? Don't you wonder if that's all they'll be serving for dessert? Is there anything else that they could have served for dessert besides serving that? Is there something healthy that they could have offered instead of just offering that for dessert? Do you think most of the people there prefer having something really sweet instead of having something healthy? Is he having any difficulty breathing while he's in the middle of doing that? Is that all he uses until all of the meat is covered with the barbecue sauce? Doesn't he care if people find it strange that he's using a paintbrush he owns to spread the sauce on the meat? Is that something you would have used had you not seen this photo before? Did he tell you, although it looks strange, it is the best way he knows how to do it? Does the fact that there is so much smoke everywhere keep him from putting on his sauce? Do you notice anything else that he brought that he's going to be using to season the meat he's barbecuing? How long will the meat be grilled for before he starts taking it off the barbecue? Did he say that his father has taught him how to do this ever since he was a kid living in Turkey? Will he go to get anything to drink once he finishes doing this? Is the reason he won't go far away because he's worried that he may burn the meat? Were those chickens the ones that were raised at his farm? Have you been able to figure out why it is that the chickens just don't begin flying away? He must have tied them up somehow to stop them from trying to do that. Does he hope to end up selling all of them at the market so that he doesn't have to bring any of them back to his farm? Is that the way that most of the people he knows like to buy chickens they want to eat later? Wouldn't it be easier just to go to the supermarket to have them cut up the chicken for you? How is it that you would prefer having your chicken prepared the most? Do you usually feel like having chicken however people manage to prepare it? Can you remember the last time that you had the chance to hear chickens waking up people in the morning? Would you prefer to eat chicken more than beef if you went out to eat? What part of the chicken do you find the most delicious to eat? Is the way your mom is used to making it the most delicious you've ever tasted? Didn't she listen to her sister, who told her she isn't supposed to be drinking that? Is she running back to tell her mom what her sister has been drinking? Was she afraid that her sister might get sick drinking what she had? Didn't her sister care whether she saw her doing it or not? If older people had been around, would they have let her drink that? Was the girl drinking there curious to find out how it all tasted? Do you think she realized that she shouldn't have been drinking that? Did she tell you later that there was just a little left in the glass just before she tried tasting it? How did she say it tasted now that she wound up drinking it all? Did she tell you that she thought it would just taste like Kool-Aid? Were there times that you felt sneaky doing things at the time you were about her age? How long did he say he spends every day grilling things at the restaurant where he works? Is that something that he's been using for years now? Does he find it harder to open or close the doors they have on that huge barbecue? No matter how many times he opens it, He says he's always thrilled to see how the meat looks and smells. Is the fact that he's the main cook there mean that he is the one that makes the most money? Could you have done what he's doing? Does he have anything you can try to see how well it tastes? Do you like eating both barbecued chicken or beef no matter how they make it? Who is the one that you know that you feel is the best at barbecuing things? Did he tell you that the reason that he opened it early was because he forgot to put a special sauce on some of it? How often did he say that he's supposed to turn the meat that he's grilling? What happens if he leaves it on too long and forgets to turn the meat on time? Did they look forward to eating what she made earlier in the day before going to work? Is that where they tend to eat lunch the most while working? Will they be taking home whatever they find valuable to later sell to someone else? Do they ever find anything to give to their kids that they think would have fun playing with? Are they willing to work long hours so that they can make sure their kids can go to school? Do you think this is what they thought they would end up doing when they got older? Do they care if people look down on them at times because they do this work in order to make money? Have they had difficulty finding any other type of job that would make more money? What would happen if one of them were to get sick and not be able to go to work? Is that something that you did with your mom at the time you were that young? Were all of those apples peeled by her mother while she was sitting next to her? Will her mom let her use what she's using to peel the apples? Won't she get a chance to use it more once she gets older? Did her mom tell you that all her daughter does is follow her around all day to see what she does? What would you do with those peeled apples if she were to give them to you? Would you have had someone make an apple pie for you to eat? Are the asparagus sitting in that bowl the next thing that she plans on peeling? Is that all that she'll have time to do before she's going to start making supper? Wouldn't you like to eat those asparagus however she decides to prepare them? Although most kids prefer not eating asparagus, was it something that you were always interested in eating? How does she seem? No matter how much she hates going to get water, is it something that her mom makes her do? Wouldn't she rather be playing with her friends instead of doing this? How far did she say that she has to walk in order to find water to bring back? Isn't the water put in those something that she finds too hard to carry far without resting? Has where she lives been having a drought for a long time which makes it difficult to find water? Isn't there anywhere near that she could go to get the water? Did you notice how there are so many cracks in the soil that she has to walk on? Did she tell you that there used to be a river where she's sitting now? She must be sick of having to walk so far just to get water. Where in the world you know is having this same problem that she has to deal with every day? Doesn't the fact that no one knows when it's going to rain next make people feel really depressed? Isn't there anything that anyone can do for the people where she lives to help solve this problem? Wouldn't it be lovely to have a refreshing meal there right by the ocean? Was he the one that made the food he brought to the table there? Is that all that his customers decided to order? Will he be ready to call his customers to come over to have lunch now that everything is ready? Don't you wonder what it is that they'll be drinking with the food that was brought? Will he be taking orders for what they want to drink as soon as they have a chance to sit down? What would you have ordered to eat if you had been there? Would you have been happy to eat whatever he suggested that he thought would be the best? Wouldn't you have rather had a table that was in the shade while you had something to eat? Doesn't that look like a great place where you could enjoy having a relaxing meal with your friends? Which three people would you have invited to have lunch with you there? No matter how much I try to stop eating a lot of desserts, I find it so difficult to do. Would they make anything sweet you wanted if you asked them to do it? What dessert would you have asked them to make for you if you had known them? Wouldn't they have been happy to make whatever you like to eat the most? Isn't it too bad that they don't live closer to you so that you could have them make something for you? Is the fact the desserts are made homemade mean that they would taste more delicious to you? What would your mom have made for dessert the most when you were littler? Is your mom the one that would spend a lot of time making desserts to make everyone in the family happy? Were you aware of any of your friends' moms who made better desserts than your mom? Although you're much older now, don't desserts you see like your mom used to make still bring back happy memories? Was your mom used to asking any of her friends to come over to help make desserts like you see these women doing? Does that photo ever bring back happy memories of the time I was growing up? Which one of the kids couldn't wait to eat the marshmallow before getting to dip it in the chocolate? Wouldn't it have tasted a lot better had she done that first? Shouldn't somebody have helped her to dip it first instead of letting her eat it like that? How many of those dipped in chocolate could you have eaten? Do you think that those kids could go back whenever they wanted to keep getting more? Doesn't that one boy look so excited to have the opportunity to try making one? Is someone holding him back so that the others could do it first? Is he having a hard time patiently waiting to have his turn to make one? Doesn't the older girl look a lot calmer than the others while her mom shows her how to do it? How would you have felt if you found one of those at a party you went to? What else do you wish that you could have dipped in chocolate if you had been there? Would it be all right if you had decided to put two things together on the stick to dip in the chocolate at one time? Would I ever have had a good time eating some of that?